We tried to record an episode yesterday, but the internet failed us, and Paul and I could both connect to the call, but neither of us could see each other or hear each other. So, no,
We wasted easily 20 minutes on this,
oh yeah,
easily, and it was not a good experience. But I don't think it was our fault. I don't get to say that a lot.
yeah, for once. Although you are now more vertical on this call because you're
Yeah,
going home, or I
something.
don't know,
Yeah,
home. Maybe it's not home because like that you're at a home. Like that's what do you call it? Like repa-
it's the United
repatriating?
States
I don't
is
know.
no, it's home. I mean, you know, it's where I'm from. Well, I'm not from Pennsylvania, but it's home. I mean, this is a home. You
Hmm.
know, there's certain, I don't know, but it's still a different country.
Yes,
It's a little different,
a little bit,
a little bit.
just a little bit.
It's like the United States that everything's really noisy. Also, things that are no longer a thing in the United States are still a thing here, like Sears, shopping malls,
Hmm.
internet cafes.
They have internet cafes. That's
I know it's bizarre. They have WeWork too, but it's like I don't know. I think this it's just still I don't know,
yeah. Well,
different.
I'm sure you can send a nice fax later if you want. Although,
Actually,
going
it's,
backwards in time actually sounds better than going forward at this point.
I had to print a label for an Amazon thing I had to return, and I asked our neighbor across the way if he had a printer. He's like, "No, he told me to play. There's places everywhere that it's paper based things like they
Mm.
can scan and print and fax, whatever, which is another thing, from the past. So I went over there, and it's 1 peso per sheet of paper is how much it costs to print. Just to put this in perspective, that's 1/20th. That's like 5 cents. Like
Mm.
5 cents. It's like it was like how many times would I have to print before I could justify buying a printer here? It's like
Yeah.
I couldn't live that long. Like, you know,
Yeah.
so
20 sheets for $1.
I
How
was
much
like,
is a printer? 200.
just do two, go nuts, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Live a little.
Yeah, use color. I mean, it'll be fine.
So two important updates. One, I'm looking at my NAS that is blinking, and I couldn't figure out why it was blinking, and then I remembered why it's blinking.
Which is
Blinking, not bad blinking, but blinking like it's backing up blinking stuff. So I completed all the Google Takeout stuff for my photos. And then I found the script, which I haven't run yet because this is the problem I'm running into.
I
First off, the
was
script is
literally
terrible.
talking to my wife about this yesterday, dude. I'm so glad Brad's on this. This is gonna save
So
me an
the
enormous
script
amount of
is
time.
poorly named. It's called Meta. Like that's like the brand name. It's not even a brand name. It's the name of the script. A lot of
Mhm.
people use it. Apparently, it's good. The problem I'm running into right now, which I didn't really account for, is so there was like 400 gigs or something of photos in Google Photos, something like that. Actually, it's more than that. They're all downloaded into 50 gig zip chunks right now.
Yep.
You know how
Yep.
long it takes to unzip a 50 gig zip
Yep.
chunk?
Yes, I do. I've done this many times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm getting that. So I just started it late yesterday. I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. It's approximately 18 minutes per chunk
Uh,
to
yeah, you
unzip
gotta let
this.
it just go. Just go to dinner, or whatever. Just let it go overnight. You know.
Well, and this is why, and now it's running again. And then I forgot that because these are 50 gig chunks, I couldn't download them onto
Oh
my
wait, are you
primary.
doing this like directly on the NAS?
No, 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 no. You'll see.
Oh, okay.
So I originally had it on my primary, just like disk drive, and I was like,
Hmm.
and then I got the warnings like, hey, your disk drive's full because
Yeah.
it's only like a 1 terabyte drive, and then there's another drive in the box that I was like, I got to move it all to there. So I moved it all to there, and then I forgot that that's the drive that I have replicated to my NAS because that's where I keep all my source code and other little projects that I don't want in OneDrive. And I was like,
Uh,
shoot. So now that the
yeah.
poor NAS is like, all right, we got a morning job for us, boys. And it's like going crazy over here. Thankfully, I don't have the spinning Rust disks and it's not loud. So once all that gets done, then I will try running this script, which looks easy, he says blindly. That's supposed to automatically. Well, here's the thing I don't know. So, like, let's just say they're in 5 buckets, like 5 zip drives. There's more, but whatever. I need to figure out if I probably need to put them all in the same folder and then point the little script at that. That way it then organizes them all at once rather than having like 5 different folders sorted 5 different times. Because what I'm afraid of, because I don't know how Google did this, say May
Oh,
1st, for example, Could May 1st
It,
show up in more than one folder because of how it's done? I don't know.
yeah. So depending on how you are organizing this, like I would have a year for, at least, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the very least, you'd want to have years.
Yep.
And then I'm anal retentive enough. I will do month as well. And ideally, with my old photos, it's even by event within month.
Yep.
But okay, whatever. Like let's not get too crazy. But um, no, you'll be fine with that kind of thing. So if you did each zip and on our organize them such that there were month and or year folders, right? And then copy them all together, it
Mm-hmm.
would be fine. It would be fine. Like you wouldn't be like, oh, this file name's exactly the same,
Yeah, and what I'll do first
necessarily.
is I will run the script against one of just the unzipped folders because I can't do it unzipped. One of the unzipped folders, and then see what it vomits
Yeah, just
out.
see what it does.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right. Yep. Yep. Yeah. I one thing. So the issue you just mentioned, which is it's replicating the entire drive, right? So I feel like with the NAS, you and I, and I'm still doing it, but we'll go down these paths and be like, oh, I need to go back here and rethink this thing because like you're replicating the entire drive, which
Mm-hmm.
in the NAS is like a storage pool that has a logical whatever drive or whatever we want to call it, which could consist of one to however many disks maybe being replicated, whatever it is. And I feel like you've written code, right, where it just never gets out of a loop. Like
Yeah.
you mean for it to, but it wasn't written correctly, whatever. I feel like the replication thing I'm doing here is a little bit like that because on this trip I got a storage getting close to full on both of my NASs at one point, and now and I sort of I it took me a long time to figure it out, but I was like I think I got on top of this, but it just happened again for the one that's back in Pennsylvania, not the one here. The one here is still fine, but I think it's like I have these things and whatever I'm storing on each, I'm replicating it between two drives now, but I'm also replicating it between the two. And I'm actually worried that it's like just replicating everything over and over again. Like I have this stuff here, it replicates here, but because I'm doing like some replication, now this one is like, oh, you got all this stuff over here. We should replicate that. And it's just another copy of the same thing. Because I'm trying to figure out like why I'm filling up the storage on
Mm.
the one that's in Pennsylvania. Like I literally have to put the two things side by side, look at the configuration, be like, what did I do differently?
You may have
So
set
I,
up. So the way my stuff is set up now is that I only care about that drive on my primary PC, and every other computer is set up as a sync, like a OneDrive.
yeah,
Uh,
but think about what you're doing with your photos, right?
yep.
So your photos are gonna like you'll have this. You might consider this your master collection or something
Mm-hmm.
like your root of truth or something. I don't know how you think of it, but whatever it is, you have this local copy of your photos. You will, if you're not doing it now, at some point will probably replicate that across two different drives, right?
Yes.
But there's all this, or maybe more, whatever it is, and maybe have a backup of it, or whatever. However you do it, it doesn't really matter. But there's all these like data integrity and whatever you want to call it, functionality built into the NAS. So, for example, you can do like file versions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you might be like, well, I want to support, I don't know, like 4 versions maybe, but how much space does that take up? And like, how does that, do you need that on that? Like, do you actually, if this thing is essentially like a photo archive, you don't really need versions on that. Like you don't need file versions. Like you just need a version. It's replicated already. It is in its own way a backup. Like I still need to. There's a lot of I don't know. I feel like I checked boxes and did things, and I'm like, I need to look at this when I get back. I don't know. Or you could just throw more storage at it. That would be the other approach. The number one troubleshooting tip is
Mm-hmm.
I just add a
Spend more.
drive.
You can spend your
Just
way
get
out of this.
Yep. I'm like, yeah, I'm not. I mean, I might do that, but I do want to get on top of this
Yeah.
thing.
What I really need to
It's
do is actually buy another one of these because, of course, I do, and then put it at my parents' house. That way,
yeah,
I right.
100%. Of course.
But
Yeah.
no, no, no. We're not spending another $1,200.
Well, but that's exactly what I did, right? Because I have
Well, yeah.
money
Well,
I
you
know
have
there.
two
I mean,
convenient locations where it makes sense. Like,
well, yes, I mean, right. And if it works correctly, I'm going to see when I get home, right? So
mm-hmm.
it should, I, I don't think it's set up correctly, but I should be able to access, it should just switch between them. I don't think it's going to. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't know. But it was one of those things like I could have used more time with both of them together, but we're going to be here for 2 months. And I'm like, I kind of, I want to bring it here and I want to, so we'll see if I completely screwed it up. I don't know, but
The other fun thing I wanted to tell you yesterday, which I'm going to tell you now.
Mhm.
So I don't know how every Windows developer isn't a raging alcoholic.
I think most of them actually are, but
So
go on.
yeah, so the past few days I couldn't do it yesterday. I got to keep tinkering it away. So I built the app, we shipped the app, then I started doing local LLM stuff, and I got that set up with DirectML, which I
Yep.
got working and functional, and you can now query it through natural language and ask questions and
Mhm.
whatever else. It's a little basic, but I'm not trying to optimize it. I'm just trying to be like, hey, can I do this? So
Mhm.
then, right, I go down this path of like, let's make it a Copilot plus PC app because I have a Copilot plus PC. I want to use the NPU in that device. I also want to use PhiSilica, which is the model that ships with every Copilot plus PC. So then I start going down the hell that is trying to implement that. So the first
Yep.
problem is that I have a traditional Win32 app, and you cannot use PhiSilica or Copilot plus PC functionality as a traditional Win32 app. First thing I had to do was convert it to an MSIX app.
Yep.
So I went through that process. Let me tell you how much fun that wasn't, but I got through it. I got through it. It compiles. It does it. I now have a universal application version of Connection Explorer for the main UI. So I was like, yes, I've done it. Like we've solved the universe. So then I start reading down the directions of how to implement Copilot plus PC and all this crap. First off, the word experimental is thrown around so much, I think they've completely lost concepts of what that
I
actually
wrote about
means.
this back in February. So this is the thing, the original. Well, this is like WinApp SDK stuff that like is never shipped and stable
Yeah,
to this day.
like Chernobyl happened, and then this SDK came out of it.
Now the dogs are blue. The
Yes.
chipmunks have 3 heads. We don't know what's going on.
So
Yep.
after reading all this, I finally was like, all right, ChatGPT, help me out here and like help me understand this. And you know what it told me 3 different times? It says, don't. Paraphrasing here.
It says
Don't.
don't.
It says
Nice.
don't. Wait till it's publicly available. Just don't. And I said, well, when's that going to be? It's like, we don't know. Don't. So ignored that. And I go down like this rabbit hole and I think I get it all the way implemented. And then I realize that I need a token from Microsoft. It's called like a limited access feature token from
Mhm.
Microsoft. And I had to fill out a form. Conveniently, RAF actually reverse engineered all that and like you can now generate them on demand. But I didn't know that at the time. Doesn't matter.
Yep.
So now I emailed Microsoft or whatever. They actually responded to their credit relatively quickly, like 12 hours or less. And then I had a token.
Yep.
I can't get the token to work. This is like, first off, ChatGPT is completely useless on trying to help with this because it's like too far out there. Like there's no knowledge that it could have ripped from somebody else's website about how to implement a laugh
Right.
token.
That, by the way, is the big problem with this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's too new. Like if you were doing some old school C sharp, .NET something
Oh, yeah,
or
no problem.
WPF, that stuff is a million Stack Overflow Q&As out
Yes.
there. Good body of work.
So then I started getting into a loop and I realized that I made a mistake. And I don't know if this makes a difference or not. So when I originally requested a token, I requested, because of the way my app's developed, this is why I went down this route, and because various reasons, I thought I needed an unpackaged token. Oh, no, 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 Thurrott. I think I need a packaged token because these are two different things. And I could not, gun to the head, couldn't tell you the difference. Doesn't matter. I
Yep.
now have that token, and now I got to go figure out if that's the magical unlock that will allow me to use the PhiSilica on my thing. And then I don't know what I'll do once I unlock that. I will dance around the house and be like, ta-da, I did it. And then I'll go focus on like growing potatoes or
You're
something.
you're learning the thing. I think that I get very frustrated with work. I think the only thing that would frustrate me more would be more being a programmer. Like I've said this many times. Like it's I guess well being an IT pro would be like this too. Like you're the guy that just disappoints everyone all the time. Like it
Mm-hmm.
just must be terrible, right? So the best case scenario for you is in your role here as a programmer is you will get it to work eventually, and you will waste a lot of time doing it. And when you get it to work, you'll be like, eh, you know, like it will like it's not going to change anything. Like
No,
you'll be
no, no,
like,
it
oh,
absolutely will not.
like that, and that's best case. You're not going to solve this problem. You're, holy crap, this is awesome. And no, in best case, it's like it's okay. You know,
Well, here's the brilliance of this. So I was talking with somebody over at Microsoft, a friend over there, and they said, actually, there's a third way to do this. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. So there's DirectML, which is how I got it up and running, which actually conveniently could run on any device. This is the hilarious part. So
that's what, right,
right, like I
which
could.
is why it's going away.
I know,
It
which
was too
to me was the
universal.
most annoying part. Is like actually we could ship quote unquote local AI LLM support within Connection
Yeah, and
Explorer.
it would work on just with the CPU. It would work. I mean,
Yeah, it would
poorly,
work on
but
everything.
but it
Oh,
would
but
work.
you know what? And to be honest, it works just fine. You can be like, hey, how many connections have I
Well,
had in the last hour? And it works.
okay, fair enough. All right, yep.
Anyways,
But,
doesn't
okay,
matter.
what's the second way?
Doesn't matter.
Second way.
So then there's the Copilot plus PC way, which I believe is using Windows ML. I think that's how that's working. I might be wrong there. I don't know.
You could use Windows App SDK or now Windows ML. I would
Yeah.
say, which Windows ML is just .NET, I think, or what is it? Is
I don't
it?
even.
We got to look this one up. I got to find
Yeah,
that out.
my
It might
brain
be
is
Windows App
scrambled
SDK.
eggs at this point. But there's a third one
Yep.
called Local Foundry,
Right.
which is another way that I could do this. The problem with all this stuff, and the only reason why the Copilot plus PC, which still kills me to say, which I also think is also another dead end, but we'll just ignore that for now. The biggest benefit there is that the model, the LLM, is already on device, because the problem with DirectML and probably Local Foundry, like imagine you're the end user, you just came and you downloaded Connection Explorer, like I want to use the local AI insights, and the first thing we tell you is, hey, you got to go download this 8 gigabyte file
Yeah.
first.
Oh, by the way, this is not unique.
Right.
Well,
I know it's not
uh,
unique, but I really like
this
focus
is a
on the
pro- no,
customer experience.
this is a problem. So I don't remember the number, but when they first came out with Copilot plus PC, I want to say they said something like there's 26 models or something like, or 42 models. It was some huge number. And I was like, what? Like, so you're like, hold on a second. If I download the ISO for this thing, which at the time was not available, but now is this thing going to be like 12 gigabytes or something? Like, what is this, right? And no, that's not what happens. You just get Windows. And then every single time you try to access any of those features the first time, you have to download that model. And yeah, some of them are humongous. Like it's crazy. Like
Yeah.
they're small for AI models, but they're big for files. Like,
Yeah.
and you can see this in Paint. I think one of the features in Paint does this. One of the features I think in Photos does this. You'll see it throughout. But the PySilica, I'm sure there's some version of that you get pretty quick, like automatically, probably through Windows Update. But there's dozens more. And if you use one in your app, it's like, yeah, it's like people used to ship the .NET runtime or SDK with their app or not with their app, and like the one without it was really small, but then you had this huge .NET update. That was nothing compared to these models.
So funny you bring that up, because one of the people at Stardock was like questioning why the install for Connection Explorer is kind of messy. It's because we include everything. We publish it as packaged in that capacity, so that when you install it, you don't get that, oh, we're going to download the runtime in the background, or not even in the background. That stupid window shows up.
You just wait for it. You just
Yep.
look at a slowly moving progress bar
Yep.
or whatever.
So the question becomes like, do you optimize for a slightly larger and messier install? And when I say messier, I mean if you go into like see users, program, app data, and like look at all the garbage it vomits out, it doesn't matter. It's like
It's like when you right click on a app in Windows 11 and to uninstall it, you can tell if it's like a modern app or not by how it uninstalls. So if it's a nice modern app, you just click on it's gone. You do like another one like this, the thing right. You can almost hear the computer go,
yeah.
and it's like, here we go. And it's leaving crap everywhere and there's nothing we can do about it. It's just the way.
Well, the restrictions too, by the way, which I'm learning all this real time on the to be an MSIX or whatever it's called app, are significant. Like it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
if you would have built
Because it's this one click thing. They created this for Office. This is the what do they call it with Office? It was like a
was it click to run?
click to run. Yeah, I think this is all tied together. Like it's just we have this hairy thing, and we're going to try to make it more elegant. So yeah, the bar's a little higher. I maybe an MSIX, as I was saying. I don't know this is not true, but that should be like a simple right click on install. It should just work, and it should be clean. Like it should get rid of everything.
But the problem is the restricted functionality that you must abide to become one of those apps. Actually, Connection Explorer falls outside of it, but because of a happy accident, I think I can get away with it, because Connection Explorer is actually two .exes. There's the one that runs in the system tray, which actually just does the collection of the connections, and then the main UI. The main UI can be an MSIX app, no problem, because literally all that thing does is just read a SQL database.
Just display the results.
Yeah, it's just a fancy UI to the system tray app, which could not be an MSIX app because it's reading the APIs of Windows and it's cataloging that information.
Yeah, it's basically a background process doing things.
Yeah, it's exactly it.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyways, that's why I'll be drinking this weekend. Hopefully you have a good flight home.